Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess they'll just have to
Alive.
Spill the beans.
Spill the beans and spilling everything.
Yeah.
Hot stuff.
Spill the beans.
Right off the presses.
Yeah. All right. So,
Gotta give the people what they for.
Yeah. What they pay for, you mean our free content?
So what they came for, not paid for.
Yeah. Well, if we're what someone came for, then man, they might ought to Google some other stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what our OnlyFans is for.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. So the other screen here. There it is. All right. We are indeed live. Now that I have this fancy fiber internet, we can go live on Facebook and on YouTube.
Whoa.
So now I have to remember what all of these Heroclix do in Masters of Time.
I'm glad we were able to get like the sealed aspect of Heroes of Time like out of our system, because now that like when I started putting all the images together, I'm like, this is cool. I can now just like wrap my head purely around
placing all of these figures
modern.
Right here. There's a lot of them that don't suck today, so that's
yeah. Like I'm actually kind of pumped because for a DC set, I'm like, there's a decent amount in here that's not everything's going into D. So I'm pretty pumped about it.
Well, I guess there's nothing to do it but to start, and that is to say Batman 001. So I'm just curious where y'all think the shifting focus bats fit. And are you going to rank them all the same together as a set? Like you could potentially mix and match all of these at any given time, right? Or are you going to say, well, certain ones of the shifting focus are good, certain ones aren't? Or are you going to more generically say all of them have their uses potentially just based on the sideline?
I was thinking of ranking them based off of individually, under the assumption that yes, you're going to have to play more than one. Like none of these work by themselves. Like just by itself, none of these are good. They'd all be in D tier if you were forced to play one of them. But if you're building around the shifting focus or shifting time, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to rank them based off of how I think they work in that mechanic and as a playability, because there are definitely some that are not very good, but there's some that are actually really good. So
right.
I am going to separate it. I'm not going to do them as a unit for me.
Okay.
I was going to do them as a unit, but yeah.
That's fine. So
I don't think you ever play one by itself.
So
well, I'm thinking by a unit, Jason, you mean you're not going to put them all into one
Oh no,
tier.
I'd never play all of them at once. No, but they all have certain uses.
Okay.
So then I would say I did forget our
do.
disclaimer. This is a 300 modern Heroclix Tiermaker for the Masters of Time set. This is not a Pulp Tiermaker or a Sealed Tiermaker or a Silver Age Tiermaker or a Golden Age Tiermaker. This is a 300 modern. How we think this set of Heroclix will do over its course of life in the modern age, specifically competitive modern. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and rank Batman 001. So this is the Empower Charge, Empower +1 attack bats.
Yep. This one is, for me, kind of in the middle of the road. The benefit is the empower. Like most of these, you want to look at what is their base kit and then what is their swapping capability. So for Batman, Empower is fine. He's your close combat, but giving adjacent friendly characters +1 attack, like it's like he's kind of got a Blue Lantern ring of sorts with the Empower and +1 attack type thing. I feel like he's just kind of middle of the road. So like I'm putting him at like C. Like he's okay.
So what
Fair.
I think is I tend to agree with what you're saying, and I tell you what, I'm going to be hard pressed to get one of these out of anything higher than B.
Yeah.
I tell you what my inclination is to just put all of the Batmans in D.
I would err not on that side, but
I agree, but man, it just
They're just not your cup of tea.
they're just exactly yes. Thank you, Jason. They're just
I'm
not.
gonna put them as a group in the B category. I
okay.
think they have uses. They're not all great. They don't all suck. It depends on what you're doing.
I think that looking at these, I'm going to put them all in C. I think that, and I think I could be wrong, but I don't think I will be.
And Tyler Laughman on YouTube mentions that he's a big fan of the shifting focus for pulp.
And I agree. They're great in pulp.
We should definitely mention briefly. Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be used in pulp as well. When we get to the different Batmans, I'll give you my different rankings for those if you guys have put them all in C, because I have practiced with them a bit.
Well, Jason's doing B, I'm doing C. You tell me. You just tell us which one you have, if it's ranked any higher or where it's at. So.
Yeah, close combat for me is just a C. You might put him on your team if you really need a close combat version, but otherwise, meh.
All right, Velociraptor D.
100% D.
Deadman D.
I almost wish he was better. Like he's as a common goes, he's actually pretty good, but
annoying piece.
Yeah, the fact that he has a sidestep but a 6 range mind control. Like that's and he could get placed adjacent. And it's all protected outwit.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty solid, but
I don't think he's garbage.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, he could go through walls. Like sidestep being able to, if he could carry someone, give him a bike and just go through walls. It's not bad, but I still put him in D. I don't think he's good enough for modern.
He's close enough. If he was same dial, lop off, click 5 for 25, I'd be more inclined to play him.
Like maybe in pulp, he might see some play because he's got some viability there, but in the new pulp world that we're getting into with Masters of Time, but D otherwise.
Yep, Animal Man is a D.
Definitely.
Detective Chimp. So we're entering a post-Porter world where this is not bad. But I think it's 35. I think it's a little bit too high as opposed to some of the other support pieces that we have. I don't think he becomes a D. I think Detective Chimp chimps his way into C.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I have him at C. I think you'll see animal teams, his keywords are good. Animal, detective, mystical. Animal's going to see a huge bump just because of this set, basically. And then Mystical's always been good. And there's better Mystical options, but the fact that he's tiny, could be carried around, is nice. And even if they go for him, he's got Mystics and Super Senses. So
right. Mr. Mind. 8 range in a small map world may not be too bad. I think this is. I really want to put him in A. That's my first inclination.
Oh.
But I just don't think he's got enough. He doesn't do. The 8 range is nice. The improved targeting's nice, but it's not enough. It's just not reality warping enough. I think it's a B.
I think I landed him in B. I like him, though.
So wait, you guys both have him in what?
B.
B as in boy or D as in dog?
B as in boy.
B is better than trash.
Wow, you've got him in B?
Yeah.
That's I have him in C.
Thing.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I forgot the Time Stealers thing. I mean, I do like him a lot. I just don't know if people are going to reach for him.
Well,
because he really just gives you the mind control and then the outwit. I mean, maybe.
Well, and
maybe
he reached outwit through character. It's pretty good.
And he also just is really good with his colossal buddy.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to keep him at C, but I could understand the B. Now that you guys mentioned the colossal, I forgot about the colossal.
Yeah. All right, so Alex, it does look like you forgot the.
I didn't add trick arrows because trick arrows, I assume we're putting at S. That's not a.
Well, we need it. If we had a picture for that, we could have put it in S, I guess.
You can't. Unfortunately, the way they have equipment on Clay's site, you can't copy those pictures well.
Got it.
Like they're not they're not coded like figures are for some reason.
So. Arrows S tier.
So, yeah, trick arrows.
Yeah, I mean arrows were different.
Booster Gold is a D.
Yeah.
Jenny Hex is a D, including her team up.
Yeah, and same with Booster's team up also.
Yeah. Prehistoric Warrior is a D. Maybe if he had the Goon trait and was 15, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking they're cheaper in power that can do stuff. I'm just thinking for like Brute or something.
Did the Goons retire?
No, the Goons are still around. All right, so D.
Empower Goon and then Lucas PJ Scott.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, thank you for the reminder. I was sitting there I didn't want to throw it into D tier until I made sure he wasn't like a tolerable in power.
Right. League Assassins also a D.
Yep.
Easy Company Soldier is a D.
Yep.
Blackhawk Pilot.
TK Enhancement. Not too bad.
TK Enhancement, 30 points. Pass Soldier. For Soldier...
We gotta get better at rating support that's not porters anymore.
Well,
I mean,
I think
you can't think of them in terms of porters.
There's better support pieces in this set.
That's true. And all her keywords, there's a better... Yeah, probably D.
It's also this support, also just gets KO'd by Kong.
Yeah.
Which, as far as we know, unless they early retire Kong should get 3 worlds.
Better.
Which is exactly how many
Kong KO'd porters, but nobody cared.
Yeah. Well, I figure.
I don't think that's a dig yet.
No, I figure Kong's going to get the porter treatment next year. But I just think D for Blackhawk Pilot.
I'm putting it at C.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the vehicle keyword. Giving plot. Yeah, no. Problem is like the ones you want to use it on, like Ghost Rider's using hypersonic, so he can't like carry her around and can't be TK'd by her. So yeah, I'm going D.
Time Trapper D.
Yeah.
Pretty easy here. Superman is a D. Daxamite's a D.
We get a good Superman figure anymore.
No. Same thing with Wolverine. To me, it's the same idea. I mean, Superman's hypersonic super strength or charge super strength. Batbar and Wolverine's charge blades exploit.
I don't know if we've talked about it or you guys talked about it on the last episode. On like the Super Pets Superman isn't terrible.
No, we didn't talk about the Super Pets. We can do that on the next show.
Yeah, I played with that and it's actually considering it's like shocked us a bit at Worlds because they announced it was a thing, and then we finally saw the dials like the day before it went on sale or something. Yeah, I'm eager to talk about it. It's actually pretty decent.
Yeah. So this is the quick draw bats. I mean, I really like this bats in and of himself, especially in pulp. But I mean, it's just a C.
Yeah, this one's the first one I'm putting up in A. Like, this is the highest I'm probably putting any of the Batmen.
Okay.
But being able to do a double attack and just a free attack, if you pop them in and carry them across the map, being able to do a penetrating attack, 12 for 3, potentially more if you have enhancement, it's not bad. Like, that's pretty good. Like, any free attack in my book is good. So he's my A, because to me, the Batman core of shifting time Batmans, this one is like the one of two main ones you're playing.
Okay.
Because of his potential.
Now, what about Flurry Bats?
I don't like this one.
He's my least favorite.
Yeah, I don't think I could put him at D, but the likelihood that you are playing him, like swapping into him, is low. Because like his pop in, he didn't begin. Batman didn't begin the turn on the map, generate a smoke terrain marker in his square. Woohoo! Like that does nothing. Now there is when he KOs an opposing character after resolutions, he may make an attack. So that doesn't say once per turn, like some of the other characters do. So like he could KO something and like keep going. So that's enough to be a C. The thing is like, and this is kind of like the problem with most of these Batman, is most of these you want to equip and you can't if you're doing the shifting time thing. So like I would love to give him a charge and just be like, okay, let's power this guy up, run out there, flurry, start killing things.
This guy, I think I missed this in the set review. This guy's just Vulture.
Well, he doesn't move afterwards.
Oh, okay, never mind.
He could just make an attack.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, and if you could give him, if we still had like a Pog or something sword to give him giant reach, then maybe there would be something there. Plop him down, move up, and then next turn shifting to him, giant reach, start hitting people.
I was starting to get PTSD there because Vulture got to use charge, not just make an attack.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, Wonder Woman D. Dr. Fate.
He's
probably a D. Like he's good, but 50 points for what he brings is a little much.
In my book, love Dr. Fate in Pulp. I love Dr. Fate in Sealed, but I think he is a D in Modern Constructed.
Like I think the reason being is because he's a support piece. So like if his trait wasn't there, like I think the shape change super senses is what's elevating, like inflating his point cost.
Yep.
Because if you took that away, he could still make the fates, like if he somehow survived. But he had just the TK, flight, sidestep, prop, he'd probably be like 30 points, maybe 35, something like that. I mean, and that would be more fun.
JLU Fate was the pinnacle of the fates, I think.
Yeah, this one's good. It's just you're paying extra just for survivability, and for support pieces, you don't necessarily care about survivability. You do, but you don't.
Yeah.
So,
Zatanna is a D.
Yeah, I think she'll be good in Pulp.
Yeah.
Pick a power.
Yeah, flexible. Yeah.
Yeah, pick a power in Pulp is not too shabby. Being able to do that, it's really hard to make the rest of her powers work. But unfortunately, I'll probably put in D, since this is a modern.
Overcome.
Yeah.
And the first S tier uncommon that we've had in a while. I guess. Supernova.
I don't.
Oh, what?
I don't think I can. I'm not putting him in S tier. I get it. I get it. Time stealers, the increase to the role. But he's also just he's not a great figure beyond that. So S tier is something that's going to be, once again, will be definitely on winning builds consistently and be a meta staple.
Yep.
I don't know if Time Stealers is going to be everywhere. It'll be played, but I don't know if Supernova. I don't know.
Supernova, Time Stealers, getting to go first. Yes, it is.
I don't think you're. Yeah,
it is definitely the new thing.
I mean, I have him in A. Don't get me wrong. He'll make top cuts. I think he's winning consistently. I just think that trade is doing all the heavy lifting. Because he's not a good 50-point piece.
I tend to agree with that. But he's until they fundamentally change the rules, Supernova takes us back to a time prior to the +3 initiative rules change, where you're trying to slam every little Time Stealer piece on a team to be able to get to go first, to get that certain percentage of advantage of going first.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a theme team. It just, him and any Time Stealer just adds to your role. So I think he could be on something else. Or not a theme, and still get a bonus of some sort.
And just as a side note, this guy is ultra busted in silver, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Just ultra busted. By the way, if they don't bench this guy immediately in silver, I'll give you a spoiler alert for our silver episode. It involves Grodd.
Yeah.
All right, Red Arrow is a D.
Yeah.
Beast Boy, D. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
So before we go to, hold on.
Well, you like Beast Boy?
Well, no. The question with Beast Boy is there's nothing with his trait, right? It's after resolution, give him a transform token, roll d6, add the number of his transform tokens to a result. 7, you could basically replace him with the big Beast Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
There's nothing to that, right?
No.
I don't think the big one's that good either.
Okay, it's something unusual, so that's why I'm making sure, because you would turn your 60. I know you have to hit. That's the key thing. But you would turn your 60-point piece into a 120-point piece. Because you turn it to the click number. I'm putting them at C, because I think C for me is, it won't make top cuts, but I think someone's crazy enough to try it at regional and win a maps. And someone might be crazy enough to try to make, the Beast Boys swap happen, to where they just have, because he has to hit, and he has hypersonic, so it's not unreasonable someone can make that work.
Okay. Cinnamon and the Cinnamon team up is D.
Yes, just on principle. On having a charge piece with enhancement.
Anthro and the Anthro team up.
I feel like he is slow. That team up is not something to sleep on, though.
What did you say, Jason?
Just so slow to make his attack power, damage power work.
He's like from a million years ago. What do you expect?
Well, he should be faster because he was on the couch
have wheels back
watching, America's Got Talent or some shit. He was running around in top physical condition. He was hungry.
It's true.
I guess.
He should have been faster.
I mean, a TK and a bike on this guy, right? I mean, that's a hypersonic fella, right? I mean, that's a 10 square reach.
I mean, I guess that would help.
That's 4 squares. I mean, he's one shot in a Kong. I mean, you just got to make a 70-point investment to one shot a 50-point piece.
50-point character.
Yeah.
I think he is more likely to be played with the team up. Because Brute and Pass specifically is a much better keyword thanks to this set. And the fact that he doesn't have to be the first one to hit, it's just anybody on the team, that changes things. Like, now he doesn't have to run up and hit. You can have a Flash Raptor and run up and potentially... Well, Flash only does 3, but you know what I mean. It could be someone that could run up and just one-hit your Kong. That's got full map reach.
Right. You know,
so
if this guy goes second, he just, loses to Kong. No big deal.
I guess. Yeah.
All right. At any rate, I do think we'll give this guy a nod and not dump him in D, but put him in C, I guess.
I have him in B because I think we keep talking about Kong, and people are going to try to make Kong happen more and more. And some of as we'll get to them, the Colossals in this set. And there's other giant figures, right? So I think...
I mean, Kong isn't a time stealer, is he?
He's an animal, so he can be.
Oh, man, that's right. Boy, oh boy. Here we go. The race to go first.
Well,
how exciting.
Well, I guess the question, the race to go first. I mean, Kong can Kong still hit from the starting zone in one go? Can he still cross the map in one go?
Depending on the number.
He could if he gets to act twice.
Yeah.
Say what?
If he gets to act twice, he can definitely do it.
Okay, so it has to be a smaller team.
Well, you could also use Chase Diana to combo him over there because she's a ruler, he's a ruler, and she just boops him across the map.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 5 different ways Kong got, boosted in this set.
Sure, I just don't... that's fine. I think that all just makes Anthro's team up even better. So that's why I actually have him in B.
And good. Thanks for joining us, Alpha Strike. We're doing great. Talia al Ghul, D.
Yeah, we talked about her before, where you can't really play her in those team ups, like in the not team ups, the theme teams in Sealed. You're not playing League of Assassins, which is her better version. So now she's a D.
Sergeant Rock and Sergeant Rock team up. D.
Yeah, we're not. This whole formidable resolve thing is not happening.
Yeah.
Jason,
you're making me think of Mean Girls. It's stop trying to make formidable reserve happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm all for someone proving us wrong with the formidable resolve.
I mean, it's great.
Please.
Go for it.
But I agree.
Lady Blackhawk, D.
Yep.
Hal Jordan, D.
Yep.
Great in Pulp. I do like Hal in Pulp, by the way. But
He does have Green Lantern TA that gives out to people, but of course, you can get that from somebody better, though.
Green Torch. I'd play Green Torch over Hal Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Or the other one, but
Superboy
is D also.
Superboy. All right, this is Blackbeard Batman, which is for me goes into C. Alex.
I'm putting this one in B, primarily because he gives adjacent friendly characters Dolphin, and he's a taxi, and he's got Perplex. You probably are not pulling off when Batman hits with a close attack. If he wasn't, if you brought him in, and he hits with a close attack, you could choose an equipment equipped and remove it from the game. Like, that's neat and all, but I mean, he doesn't have precision strike or anything, so probably unlikely you're getting through things, but maybe. But I like him purely from if you're worried about like Merns and stuff, or something like that, and you want to be more defensive, you can have some water terrain, start the game with him, so that way your adjacent friendly characters have Dolphin, and kind of just give a little bit of added protection. That's how I view him, as just he's giving everyone everyone adjacent Dolphin.
He's Ducky Deadpool is what you're saying.
Yeah, that you can just swap out to a better figure when you're ready to attack. That was the detriment for me for Deadpool, was he's there and that's what he's doing. And that's it. That's what he's doing. With this, it's like, okay, I can keep him out there as long as I want, but when I need offensive power or whatever, I can swap him and move to something else. Or if the matchup is bad. So I have him in B for Batman.
Witch Hunter Batman going
also same.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
I like this one. I mean, I think
I like
Safeguard Mystics is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a C for me. The defend is nice, but that's just, you can get through 19. Enhancement's fine. The Mystics is fine. Everything's fine, but it doesn't do anything great. Like, no other reducers or anything. So I don't like him that much. I'm probably not playing him with the rest of the Batmans. Unless Mystics is just insane and everywhere.
Morgan Le Fay and the team up. I really like the figure and what it does.
Yeah.
But it's not good enough.
I'm gonna put her in C, just because that whole healing a friendly character with mystics, mystical keyword after they take mystics, someone could play around that and like build around that, and it could be obnoxious. It's effectively almost giving like a soul sword type effect to everyone, right?
Yeah, if she had that movement power at low dial,
yeah,
for one click, that would be great.
She only heals herself, doesn't she? Yeah.
Say what?
She only heals herself, not other characters on her team.
No, she can heal a friendly character with a mystical keyword one click. So it's anybody.
No.
It's Morgan Le Fay one click.
Yeah, on the key, he's talking the team up. The team up switches it.
Team up, what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah, the team
on. Yeah, the team up is different. Yes.
It's like how Mephisto was.
Oh, you're talking about the regular one. Okay.
Yeah, the regular one I think is fine. Being able to like heal up a Wong or a Ghost Rider or something. Does Wong have mystics? No.
Wong is
no. He's mystical.
Wong has mystics, yes.
So just being able, like, if you could build a team where like your whole team has mystics and you're just, playing around that, I could see someone trying to make that work. Like, that's enough for me for like a C, where someone's going to try to build around it, because it's neat. I mean, it's annoying to go against someone who, someone with stop clicks that could just heal off of them because you're taking the mystics damage.
Well, keep in mind, the stop click is only once per game.
Right. No, I know that. I'm not talking her specific stop click. I'm talking in general, if you're building around different stop clicks.
Gotcha. All right, Robin. There's a better 30-point marksman in the set. I think Robin's a D.
His range is just too short.
Well, all ranges are kind of poop now, Jason.
Yeah, but I just think his move and his range together is just, with what he does, I always feel when I'm playing him, it's just not enough.
It's half the map, Jason.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to put him at C.
Yeah, 8 range, he'd be fucking fantastic, but he don't, so.
And this might purely B, because I've seen some people try to play him on an assassin team. Because the whole, like, if you miss and he can make an attack, that's not terrible. If he hits and someone shares a keyword, given a power print, it's not terrible.
Well, yeah, that's right. But the problem is his range is too goddamn short, and he can't do anything if he's not in position.
Sure, I mean, yeah, I get it. I'm just saying.
I like him. I like his powers. I just don't feel like he just doesn't. I don't know. Have the
That's
stats
fair.
for it.
All right. Jason, does that mean Robin is a D for you?
Unfortunately, I think he is.
All right. Green Arrow. I like Green Arrow in Pulp, but I do not like him in Modern. If he had that special damage power at 50, I would consider playing him. Otherwise, he is just a D tier piece. 75 is way too much.
I am not writing him off yet because of the whole team up card. You'd have to play a marksman theme team, which right now is just okay. But that is a pretty potentially powerful effect. It's like when a friendly character hits with a range attack, note the attack roll. When a friendly character attacks and the attack roll matches an attack roll, noted during this turn the attack is a critical hit. Like, you can play around with that and be dishing out some stuff. So I have it as C. I'm just saying that's a unique enough effect on a team up card that I think somebody could play around with him at 50, something like that, or even at 75. I don't mind him at 75.
If it's 50 points, his attack and damage powers, he'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Alex, did you forget Etrigan Prime?
I guess I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see him on there.
That's okay. So Etrigan the Rare, I really want to like at 30. I think he's really great and sealed at 30. Definitely he's nowhere near anything at 100. But I guess in Modern, without having like some stealth or something like that to help protect himself, he's a D tier piece, unfortunately.
You can add him real quick, by the way, to your own, since you're on screen. If you just go to HC units and right click on the Prime Etrigan, save the image, and then if you scroll to the bottom of the Tiermaker, there's a add additional images, and you can just immediately add it. It doesn't change anything. Like, it doesn't throw everything off, refresh the page. It just adds it on there.
Okay, hold on. Choose files.
Yeah, all I did was say
choose files. All right, let me. Nope. Now I can see all my stuff. Hoodie's right there at the top.
Oh, choose files. Okay, fine. There we go.
Choose files. Do I have to hit enter after that? Nope. Does he just add him on here somewhere? There he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's added to the end.
There he is. Okay.
All right, Etrigan Prime. Oh man. No. I don't think you try to play around his thing.
There's so many good primes now. Just he's not there.
He's not one of them. Sorry, buddy.
I'm probably putting him at C. I kind of C to me is it's a unique effect that it's like, I don't want to say he's garbage because on a mystical or past team maybe there is something that works with this, but that's why I'm hesitant to just immediately discredit him. But I agree he's one of the lesser primes, even though he's kind of cool. He does come in and have a stop click, so that's something.
I don't hate him. I don't love him.
I mean, what's the realistic way to, like, when a friendly character with mystical or past keyword hits, and the attack roll is 10 or more, that's when you can bring him in. You replace that character.
But why would I ever sideline this guy with a reverse flash exist?
Reverse Flash is somewhat limited. And we'll get to him in a minute, but there might be That's what I'm saying. There might be instances like if you have a mystical or past keyword character that has a high chance of hitting or something that like I don't know something you can manipulate to get more points on the board and have him there. It's something where someone could maybe make it work. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it.
You're fine.
Yeah, all good. I get it. C's not a big deal. I'm not gonna like, ooh, no, Alex, you must put him in D.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Supergirl.
I wish she was a little cheaper.
Yeah.
Like she's good, but it's hard to justify like 100 points for 2 stop clicks, and you only got sidestep.
Don't play her at 100 point. Just don't.
Yeah, 74 clicks with a stop isn't great either. I do like her trait. Like I do like the healing up one. I do like her getting plus combat values when she's attacking a giant or colossal. That's good also. But it's unfortunately D tier. Maybe a role in you're not going to face a lot of giants or colossals in a pulp, but
I think she's still good in pulp, but
yeah, like being able to heal someone after an attack once per turn. I mean, that's still good. So maybe 70 in pulp.
I'm a fan of her. I don't think she's like making top cut all the time, but I don't think she's trash either. So she's landing in C for me right now.
Yeah.
Okay. She's D for me. It's just not good enough.
Yeah, I have her in D.
Nighthawk. Oh man, guys, there's 6 clicks for 40 points. Whoa. D.
Yeah. I love real quick on Nighthawk. I love range characters that have empower. Those are my favorite.
Well, it works well with that charge character that has enhancement.
Yeah, I know. If he could shoot out of adjacency, then we'd be talking.
And immediately, per Degaton, right to S tier.
Yep.
Yeah, if anyone was
like, what doesn't he do? I mean,
perplex. That's one thing he doesn't do.
Yeah, that's true.
You know where I really like my enhancement? On my sidestep flyer that goes through walls and characters and targets through characters and out of adjacency. That's where I like my enhancement.
Yeah, if anyone was wondering why Blackhawk Pilot was a D, it's because all her keywords are covered by per Degaton for cheaper points. Mm-hmm. Like 100%. I was about to put her into something, and then I looked and like, no, he's got Pass and Soldier. Like, he's got that covered.
Yep.
And he does everything she does, but better.
Yeah. It's quite literally per Degaton is the immediate replacement for Scott Porter's.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. Not a direct one-for-one swap, but it does so much. All right, Rare Flash. Yeah. I like how we debate the ones that aren't good. Like, oh, I don't know, I think it's a C, guys. And then we're like, S tier, oh, you guys got this. We're good. Just read the card. No.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about him at all because he does all this cool shit. Like, why can't play him?
Just play him.
That's true.
Just play for Degaton. You'll figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, just put him on your team. You'll understand.
Yeah.
Don't forget to move something out of your opponent's starting area to a different spot when you put him on your team.
Oh, yeah, man. That's something we should talk about more at some point, like on the podcast episode or something, of like how detrimental that could be to some teams, where you could just take a figure and just place it in a random square.
It's like it used to that being a thing for the next, 2 years.
2 worlds, yeah. Matt, Supergirl doesn't deserve better.
And what's especially great is since they made the rules change, like this severely hurts people not going first because he is a time stealer. And so as first player, you can go first, place your figures, your opponent places their figures, and then Degaton moves the figures, and then you put down your terrain marker to just encase that said character, quote unquote. Like it's timing's like you could place effectively. I mean, I guess you could do that before. I don't remember.
No, you couldn't do that before technically, but that worked with the rules setup that they had us do for Nats and Worlds. Yeah,
which is now in the comprehensive. So
Yep.
everyone keep in mind that's not just a ruling; it's how it works now.
Yeah, I mean we have to do our comprehensive rules update episode probably here really soon. All right,
Yeah, but
Rare
that just
Flash.
D.
Yeah, that's
Just
unfortunate.
hit hard enough.
He's too expensive. We had a much cheaper Flash that did a lot more, like a year or two ago. So,
all right, Reverse Flash.
He's S tier for me.
I love Reverse Flash. Why were you saying he was limited earlier?
So sideline active at the beginning of the game, choose an opposing character. When that character attacks and misses all targets, after resolutions, you may generate Reverse Flash from your sideline on click 4. Adjacent to that character, if you do this game, as long as both characters are on the map, Reverse Flash can only attack the chosen character. So it's like to me, it's like a target type thing. So it's not limited, but it's limited in the sense of you got to choose right and hope they miss. So if it's something with and they have to miss all targets. So you might play Reverse Flash on your sideline and immediately think, oh, I'm going to make Kong the target. But Kong's quaking everybody and likely to hit somebody. Like, pretty likely. They have to miss all their targets.
You're doing it wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying, Jason.
Hey.
All I'm saying is,
that's not a limitation on Flash. That's on you not making a correct choice. Hey.
Well, I just want to make sure everyone knows, he doesn't just come in and do all the things. He is limited to attack that one person. And as long as that, that's it. As long as they're both on the map. Once that character's dead, then he could do whatever, I guess. So
yeah, he can. I think he's just great on the main force.
Yeah, I think he's great on the main force. I think that's why he
100%
here for me. Hypersonic Flurry with 11 movement. That's the whole map, pretty much.
That and Flurry for free as the attack is great. Precision Strike he brings his own prob. Shade Change Super Senses. He's got Hyper Time, so if someone wants to come at him, that is something. Hyper Time is a thing. His keywords are good. Characters. Well, future and past are good. Yeah, he's great. I prefer him way more main force than I do sideline.
Oh, for sure.
And he has what every speedster should have, and has improved movement characters.
Yep, and you can equip him. So give it. I don't know. You can give him trick arrows or something.
Mm-hmm. We enter the 290-point meta. Every team must include trick arrows.
Well, that's mostly because at this point, it's kind of trick arrows or bust with equipment. Because there's not much else.
58,000 points of bikes.
Yeah, it's sure.
And Bucky's arm. Don't forget Bucky's arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could give him Bucky's arm. That's not
for sure.
terrible.
13 for 4. Yeah.
The Super Senses thing doesn't help, but...
No, but I'm just giving him close combat expert is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Reverse Flash a lot.
All right. GI Robot. D.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Black Beetle's in the city.
Blue Beetle's interesting, though.
Black Beetle's in the city is a D. So, all right, Blue Beetle.
So wait, we're saying a D for Black Beetle?
Yes.
He is a time stealer. Does that matter?
No, he's 75 points.
Too many points.
Because you get to place your opponent's terrain markers. And they do specifically say, how many terrain markers do we have that have points?
Happy Barrel.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or,
the Bucky's
or
Bucky's arm.
yeah.
Objects are terrain.
I guess that's true. I didn't think of it from that standpoint.
Am I making that up? Like,
No, you're not.
So he could come. So it'd have to be on your sideline, but he could just free bring in a Bucky's arm and throw it to a Colossal.
I think so.
Once per game, generate a terrain marker. We'd have to check on that. I mean, if that's the case, I'll put him in C.
Yeah.
Just because giving Bucky's arm to a Kong or some other Colossal, a Flash Raptor, I mean that's 75 points is a lot, but he has enhancement and power, adjacent friendly characters modify attack +1. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I know it's 75, but that's enough to be in C for
I'm
me.
go ahead and need you to start calling Flash Raptor by its actual name, the Flaptor.
Flaptor, yeah.
Flaptor, okay.
Flaptor, yep.
So where are we at on Prime Beetle?
I was going to ask you guys the same thing.
I don't know. I thought I liked him more, but I played against him in Sealed. Now, I did have the dark side, but the guy the Blue Beetle just crumbled.
I don't think he's as good in sealed as he is in constructed.
Okay. 100%. He's better in constructed for sure. Does he work with whatchamacallit?
Yes, he does. He works with Major Logan.
There are one or more. Now, the key thing nowadays is you don't get the thing with Major Logan nowadays is that not everyone's going to be rocking Scott Porters anymore. So you can't rely on the gimme of everyone's got Scott Porter, so his trait's always going to go off.
Right.
I would say it goes down to like 70%, whereas probably like 99% before, where you might encounter a team that just doesn't have anything that shares names. But besides that fact, I think he's good. Like, I'm putting him in A because I think he's good.
Like his threat neutralization is really. Everybody talks about his other trait, but threat neutralization is really good.
Yeah, we don't really have any defensive. Like, you probably put a bike on him to give him maybe super senses.
Super senses, yeah.
Is he a time stealer at all?
No, this one is not. He's Teen Titans armor, and he does have mystical. But he does take away, like, free, choose an opposing character's range, line of fire, and a standard power. That character can't use the chosen power until Blue Beetle chooses again, so that's great. Just taking away something.
And butterfly him in to do that.
True.
That worked.
Maybe the play is 45 with the butterfly.
I still like him better at 75.
I don't know. I just don't know that I can justify him at 75. Like, I know he will be played. I've got him as an A. But I almost think that maybe at 75 he's a trap.
He's a finesse piece, I guess. He's not just I play him on my team and he's just going to erase figures. It's
that's what our 50-point figures do these days. You just put him on the team and they just erase figures.
Sorta. I mean, I am trying to keep an open mind because I'm trying to keep in mind that with the Porters gone, stats theoretically should come down. Like, we theoretically shouldn't be in the 15 attack consistently, and everyone has a 21 defense.
I know, but now everybody consistently has a 19, and, figures have a printed 12.
Sure. I'm just saying, I'm thinking, I'm trying to keep in mind, Porters are gone. You don't have the million rollouts of, community props. Haha, screw you. So I'm thinking this is a finesse piece, someone who plays him a lot, gets used to him, knows this is when I should be going for the Annihilation Field, or this is when I should be using him for a Pulse Wave, since he could choose standard attack powers. Like, I think that's the person who could choose that and play him right. I think he's fine at 75 points. Being able to potentially yeet a Kong or some other annoying piece is fine. Like, you could play him with Time Stealers and be non-theme. I mean, that's fine.
Just, I don't know. He does too much stuff to be not. I don't know if I've cooled on him a little bit, probably, but he's still really good.
Yeah, I'm in the market to try to get one because he's someone I'm thinking about trying to practice with and see how good he actually could be.
Fair enough.
He's good on paper.
All right. Super rare cosmic bats. I mean, I'm going to put him at C. Jason's putting him at B. Where are you at with him, Alex?
See, he's not very good. Like, he's neat, but the problem is that when you bring him in to do Pulse Wave, he's probably around somebody, like, because he has no move and attack. You could do the poison when he uses the opposing characters within range and line of fire are considered adjacent to him. That's neat. Be cool if he could see through characters, but oh well. I think he's okay, but I have him in C. He's not part of the main combo of Batmans.
Jason, is there any of these other shifting focus Batman that have enhancement or something like that, or buff range pieces?
Witch Hunter is the only one that has the enhancement that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
regular
Jason,
Batman
this might
empower.
we're thinking about how to retool the Phoenix Sentinel team, right? This guy does have cosmic.
Oh, we don't need them for enhancement.
You could give Phoenix Sentinel Dolphin though.
There's way better enhancement pieces on cosmic than these guys.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, is if we were looking at cosmic pieces, maybe you start with this Batman, then switch to Pirate or something like that.
Yeah, if you want to go with the Dolphin, yeah, that's not a horrible thing. Yeah,
that would be good against the mirror match. And if you lose that first roll and you're going second, well, unless they plan well, that Sentinel's not getting up there to shoot dolphins. So
maybe that's the play. I don't know. Something to think about. You know how you guys know how I like a good cosmic keyworded piece.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it under advisement.
I mean, I might be on Phoenix Sentinel gang with y'all. But, all right, Despero. Now, we've gone back and forth on Despero, I think, at least on our chats and the Facebook. And so you can't, just to be clear, you cannot butterfly in Despero and get his his second trait to work.
Right.
So,
because he is not there at the beginning of the game.
So are y'all okay? He's a time stealer. Y'all okay with starting with this guy, keeping this guy, and not really getting rid of this guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Where
I have him in
S,
I have him in
A, B, or C.
I have him in S.
What?
I had him A.
Hey, Brad.
I think people are underestimating the whole you can't use sideline active or leave it sideline. That is massive. If you're worried about most of the time, Merns are being brought in via butterfly. If you're worried about Mern, just say he can't come in.
Ooh. God.
Here's what I'm worried about.
I don't know.
I want to keep out is Beetlejuice. He is like your best defense against Beetlejuice.
That too.
All right. I don't know. Yeah.
You could go. Hey, listen.
He has TK. He has Prob. He unavoidably damages anybody that gets TK'd on the opposing team, and yours too. But I mean, you can work around that. But I mean, he's got mind control. Like,
well, if someone else on your team TKs, if he TKs, he's
said
fine.
that. But you can work around that if they're going to be out TKing somebody. They're definitely getting. You can TK with your own Despero and not take that.
Yeah,
they're going to get hit if they're playing against you.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I
do too.
I think you could also equip him if you really need to. Like, if you want to make him more usable. I mean, he's at 11 for 3. He has penetrating psychic blast.
Yeah,
So
you give him running shot.
yeah, you could make him a 65 point and play a bike on him or something. Like there's I'm looking at it just from thinking of all the things we have on the sideline, and you could just take away a sideline active. So that Conchu that's bothering you, you just take away sideline active. Can't use that Conchu. Can't use the what's his face? Cathan. Cathan will work.
This is people's plans. Like,
Yeah,
can't use the BO. Like, you know what's coming.
yeah. I like this guy a lot. So
I wish he was a cosmic keyword. I mean,
Brad also mentioned that you can build teams with activation clicks. So
that's
true.
also a good point. Yes. I don't know if we have much of those anymore, but it could help you manipulate people's dial. Yeah.
it could be. All right. I'm going to put him in A, I guess.
I mean,
And you sound reluctant to do so.
I mean, he's barely an S for me. I mean, he probably is more realistic A, but I'm on the Despero hype train. Like, I'm trying to drive it at this point, so I think he's good. Like, especially with all the rest of the stuff we're potentially getting that we know of, like the sideboard deities and stuff. Like, being able to give yourself an option of taking something out so you don't have to worry about it feels good. I know it's 50 points, but I mean,
you like Dr. Thing too. I mean, so this
yeah.
is like Dr. Thing, but better.
I like Dr. Thing as a meme more so than a actual thing.
I mean, TK Prob and yeah, I mean, I like him a lot.
Okay, fair enough. All right. The 2022 World Champion piece, John Constantine.
I'm eager to hear your guys' rankings on this. I think this is a piece.
This total garbage. Put it in D tier.
This is a.
I don't want to see it across from me ever.
This is an S tier plus piece for Zach Brazier.
Oh man, this thing makes me groan every time I see it. God, just not being able to prob stuff sucks.
It's So other characters can't use prob. When an opposing character within range uses outwit or perplex, his range is 6. Before they choose a target, you may roll a d6. You roll a 1. John Constantine takes 1 unavoidable. 4 through 6, you may choose any friendly or opposing character within range and line of fire of John Constantine to become that target of a power instead, and you make all of that power's choices. So that's solid. You're probably not hitting that as much as you think with the outwit perplex thing.
If I'm playing against him, I'll hit it every time.
Yeah, well, I guess what I'm saying is, like, when you're playing him, you're building him based off of the other things in my head. Like,
he's not the second time in a foul.
Yeah, it's having the stealth, place it free, place him up to 4 squares away from his current square is great. Outwit, prob, like I like him a lot. Like I'll probably
put him as an A.
Yeah, I have him there too.
Yeah,
good,
I do too.
Good keywords, detective, mystical. Unfortunately, most of the mystery cards are gone, so detective isn't as good, but it's still okay. That we still have a couple. So I think, like Jason, like you said, you sit down and there's a John Constantine across the field. You're going to be looking at your Conchu and be like, "Well, not today, buddy. I guess you're not giving me that prop today."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you at, Jason?
He's an A tier for sure.
Yeah.
For me.
Where you at, Alex?
I have him as A. Yeah.
I think that's fair. Here's the thing. I don't think the swamp is as good as the man when it comes to talking about things of the non-prime variety. I think I'm playing Man Thing at 55 all day and never playing Swamp Thing at 95 ever.
Oh, Daniel, you're forgetting this guy is like the counter to Battle Gnome.
Yeah.
The Battle
I
Gnome wave is
am forgetting that, but he can go.
This is the counter to Battle Gnome.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, the key thing with this
One
guy,
shot. Yeah.
the key thing with this guy though, is that he attacks every turn. Like he doesn't stop attacking because he has the free make a close attack, but only to target a character occupying a square with any plant terrain marker, and he's just making that every turn. So,
Problem is he's only making 4 squares. But yeah.
but that's fine. Like he could be, you can make him tiny, carry him up. He throws out like because it's not at the beginning of the turn, so carry him up, free, put a plant terrain under you, and then I just punch you for 12 for 4 exploit. Like that's not bad.
I think he's good. I don't like his point value, but he does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm only putting him in. I'm only defending him to put him in C. But anyone that could like come up and punch really hard as a free attack, like I'm not even looking at his charge at this point. It's like who cares about charge?
Like Man Thing carries the plant marker up, or even Man Thing carries him up, and you dump a plant marker with, up there with Swamp Thing afterwards after Man Thing attacks, and then he can attack, and then like you could have a Harley Quinn. I mean not Harley Quinn, but a Poison Ivy. They can attack. Like,
But
Yeah,
95 points.
I know I said I didn't like his point value, but I'm saying like,
95 points.
But a baked in 19, Mystics, traded shape change.
Now, to be clear, this guy absolutely wrecked in Sealed when I pulled him.
I played against one in a Masters of Time release where we could only play this set, and he was annoying. Like I just couldn't get through him enough.
Yeah. I'm going to put him in B.
Oh, I only had him in C. But
I don't hate that. Like I like him. I wish he was a little cheaper. Like Man Thing, this a lot less, does a lot of the same kind of stuff. But yeah, Battle Gnomes. He stops the Battle Gnome wave, so that's worth at least a B.
it is cool that they like gave him Herald.
Yeah, that's also nice.
Like that's one of those callbacks of like it's one of those not deep cuts, but if you just think of Swamp Thing, you don't necessarily think of him as like what is he the herald of, but like it's a cool throwback for him, like the way they just gave it to him, because that gives him one of the avatars.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the Herald of D's.
Nice.
Yeah.
The green D's. Yeah.
Here's a good one. Here's another good one to discuss.
I don't think there's much discussion about it. It's one of the most hilariously broken things that they've ever printed in Heroclix.
Go on.
Because it doesn't say you can't use the power, it says you can't reduce the damage, which means that every damage reducer in Ghost Rider doesn't really matter because invincible, impervious, toughness, and vulnerability reduces penetrating damage traits. None of that matters because Black Lantern Swamp Thing says they can't reduce damage. Then he's a Black Lantern, and Necron says that he can heal above his start dial. And he does not jump across the map, but he has a 12 attack for 75
He does
points.
jump 4 squares away.
He does just jump 4. Then he's got Charge, Plasticity, Flurry. He's a Herald.
And a Giant.
He's probably the Herald of Khonshu or he's probably the Herald of Khonshu in the Black Lantern team because Tarret goes on Necron, and then Emit goes on just whatever other one you don't care about having. Because he has all of the Emit stuff, Steel Energy and Quake, or Steel Energy and Poison. He has all that already. Somebody asked me today, do I think that he's worth $250 or $330? He's not Silver Surfer good. He has an obvious Mern disadvantage, and but if he gets to go first, Or he gets to be on Major Brock's bunker if they don't have a Mern. He's pretty damn good.
Lets your Batman potentially swoop across the map.
What's that?
It lets your Batmans potentially just swoop across the map.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask
What would you rather play with? Gosh, Brad asked, would you rather have Swamp Thing on your main force for constructed or have Swamp Butt? I'd rather play with Swamp Thing. Swamp Butt is awful.
Yeah, no thank you.
We had that at Rock Cup this year.
Yeah, no more than that. Not doing that again.
If I ever show up to a tournament again and the air conditioner stops working and it's 90 degrees out, I will be leaving. I will just leave. So I'm not ever dealing with that again.
Let me ask you real quick, because I keep forgetting. For Colossals 2x2s, do you only need one grave terrain marker for them to be considered occupying?
For the damage reduction, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember with if that works similar to stealth and they have to be in hindering, right? If they're occupying hindering.
No.
I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
It's a weird thing because stealth requires the line of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I have, to be fair, I have Swamp Thing in A tier.
That's fair. Jason?
Yeah, I put him in A tier just because, Mern is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's impervious. So
Rip Hunter is a time master, not a time stealer.
It's just definitely a downgrade.
Yeah.
Stealing is definitely a mastery, apparently.
Now, do we need to reread the second trait?
Sure, I can read it. At the beginning of your turn, if Rip Hunter has no countdown tokens, roll a d6 and give him a number of countdown tokens equal to the result. When a character makes an attack, remove one of Rip Hunter's countdown token. When his last countdown token is removed, if that attack would hit all targets, it becomes a critical hit. If it would miss all targets, it becomes a critical miss. He also has traded Prob. That has an extra thing where you can remove an action token from future or past. Phasing Teleport, Passenger 4. Friendly characters with the future or past keyword and no action tokens do not require line of fire when using Prob.
So is Rip worth it at 40 for leadership? I feel like he's enough to grant a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, his trait works both ways, but he's nice. He does a nice taxi. Prob thing's cool.
I feel like the only way he's going to do well is if it's someone like Isaac who knows how to manipulate his countdown tokens right. I think he is not a piece you could just throw on and be like, oh yeah, he's an easy taxi. I'll just taxi, leadership, cool. He's great. He has this cool prob. Because then you're going to forget, his token thing is not a may.
Yeah.
It's like you may roll a d6, or when he makes attack, you may remove. It all happens.
It could bite you.
Yeah. And I think for him to be effective, very effective, you really have to be on top of your game and know how to do all of that. Because if you roll a 6 at the beginning of your turn, you roll a 6, you're unlikely to get rid of all those tokens, right? That might alter your turn somehow, where you're I can only make 3 attacks, I'll leave 3 countdown tokens. And if they hit, if Kong comes over and hits and it somehow becomes a critical, that's probably over for a lot of teams. So C.
Yeah, C. Well, should do or should don't?
I say should do for sure.
Yeah.
Or Shadow.
Shadow.
Should-do-be-do-be-do, right on into A for me.
Yeah, that's where I like her at. She does some cool stuff.
What point value?
30.
30?
Okay. Didn't know if anyone was at 75.
Same cool stuff at 30 that she does at 75.
Yeah, she gives you basically. We've talked about this before. I mean, she's effectively Weasel somewhat with the friendly characters with marksman keyword, modify range +1. She has enhancement 11 for 3. That range thing. That's another one. This is another character where you can't just play and assume everything. Like this requires a little bit of thinking because hers is range, make up to 3 range attacks. When Shadow does, she can't target characters that took damage this turn. So that's not just from her, that's from anybody.
Right. But I also
She needs to
look
be
at
your
it
opening
as
salvo.
I also look at it as that she can like be 11 for 3, target some 3-click character, and she has 3 chances to try to hit it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think at our most basic premise, that's what you get with her. And I agree with what you're saying, Alex. Like, that's something that you have to work around. But, like, if she goes first and just targets the squishy thing with her improved movement characters and improved targeting characters, just have her go try to KO the one thing, right? And as long as she doesn't critically miss, just let her try 3 times at it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, sure, that could wreck a whole team of squishy shit, right? Right, you just boop, 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 delete, delete, delete. Well, and that might happen in some matchups, but there's other matchups where it's like, she just needs to hit the one thing really hard and has like 3 chances to do it.
She's also, the key thing with her is you should just give her the arrows. Because she has marksman, so she'd get them for free. And so you can give her the pseudo mind control one. You can give her ones that, for that first attack, you could just choose it being a non-damaging trick arrow. And then follow that up to, alright, I've got 2 more attacks to potentially do something.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you could...
it's also a little unfortunate, or maybe we found the reason why they switched the chick arrows to being once per.
Yeah.
Because
probably.
Could you imagine just doing 3 attacks with her and then triggering 3, I don't know, big arrows?
Well, I don't know if you could.
Yeah, you couldn't do the quake. Sorry, that's incorrect. But you could do, like, imagine attacking 3 times, then doing the quake arrow, the mind control arrow, and then the too dangerous arrow. That one's instead of normal damage. I'm trying to think of the other one that's not instead of normal damage. But
USB, like you could do it to unequip people. Like, I still think at 30 points, she's effectively, if we're going by how we did it with the rings, she's effectively 20 points. Yep. Because you're going to give her the arrows. Like, that's great. Like, decent keywords. But I like her a lot because she's at 20 points, 30 points, you don't mind getting KO'd. Because she will just die to... Well, that's where I'm wavering.
Probably 2.
I was debating
the +1 range and then the enhancement. I mean, there's going to be enough targets out there, probably.
I guess my only concern is like you're likely going to run into a scenario where the second shadow can't do anything. Like she can normal attack, but
I mean, and you can boost her pretty good. I mean, you're talking like if there's 2 of them, they got 7 range. Running shot 7 range through characters.
Yeah. On Assassin's team, it probably could get pulled off.
To be clear, Jason, we haven't talked about like how teams probably just have to play Weasel these days.
Yeah.
So she's 8 range, 5 damage in the double Shadow Weasel scenario for 70 points.
Can't carry Weasel, unfortunately, but
yeah, I know. But maybe
if you put like a bike on her.
Hold on, I'm looking at something here. I'm just making sure.
You're probably not putting a bike on her. That's half her points just to put a bike.
Weasel just had. Never mind. You're right. Weasel just. I was like, she does have Underworld, but Weasel just has the Deadpool corpse keyword.
Well, here's what I'm thinking is like you play her with like Green Man, who's also an assassin, and then he can like carry up Weasel or something because he has flight, and they just running shot up there and shoot wherever that is.
That is such a devastating alpha strike, but man, does it
And
not
then
want
she
to
can use Green Man's. Yeah, Green Man also combos off that with his damage power. He's given +1 range as well when they're adjacent, and then the blow through stop and then enhancement. I mean, there's a word where she hits for like 5 damage
easily?
with like a 13, 14 attack. Like,
Well, it can't be higher than a 13,
also,
but yeah.
you can also play her with. Oh yeah, she's 10 on this click. Like she's 30 points, so Prime Kingpin also
Yeah,
combos with her
yeah.
and Green Man.
That was the team I was building originally. Was I had Kingpin, Shadow, and Kingpin has Assassin, Prime Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
So you could build the assassin team I had was like Kingpin, Prime Kingpin, obviously Deadpool, Hitmonkey, a Shadow. You could put Mern on there if you want, Green Man on there. And then that's where it kind of fell off, as I was losing some pieces. Like I couldn't figure out what else. Like you could do Timebreaker Pogs, so you don't break theme if you want to keep that +3.
There's also Assassin is an interesting choice to play with all these is Peacemaker from the Butterfly set.
Yeah. I think she definitely we learned from Worlds and leading up to Worlds that Assassin is a pretty decent team. And while it lost, some porters and stuff, I think Shadow is definitely elevated it back to you need to think about assassins and how good assassins are, because she's going to be hitting hard, and she's only 30 points.
I think the only bad thing about assassins is they just have a very bad day if they go second.
Potentially. Major Brock's bunker.
Yeah.
So, if the other team has Mern, then yes, absolutely, they still have a bad day because Mern's just going to wreck them. But
that's where Peacemaker also helps out.
Yeah,
because they haven't had their second turn yet. And they can. I don't know, but they can do cool stuff.
If Darren Ginron is out there listening, watching tonight, he's very excited about us mentioning Peacemaker. All right.
Yeah, and you could also go real quick. You could also go more martial artist on her, because that still gives you the Kingpin, and you could go martial artist to get like one of the shifting Batmans in to give Dolphin at some point if you really needed it, to give a little bit more protection. You lose Deadpool and Hitmonkey, but there's other pieces. It's just a thought. Shadow isn't just assassin. Martial artist is arguably as good.
All right, our first super rare that goes into the D, Clock King.
Sorry.
Once returned. Yeah. There's nothing you can equip them with to make them decent, right? Not currently. Yeah, probably D. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure. BRs and Sealed hasn't ruined Clock King for me because he's garbage in those formats.
Right.
But he still takes tokens off the opposing team.
Yeah. He still takes token off the opposing team in a regular 1v1 matchup, so that's bad.
Yeah.
Hurry up, the clock is ticking. Madame Xanadu. She would have been probably S tier if she'd been out the same time as the Porters.
Yeah, that trait that she has would have been pretty big.
But I don't know. Like I'm just spoiled by Per Degaton.
Well, she's mostly for mystical.
Player.
Because per Degaton isn't mystical, right? So I'm looking purely as a mystical version.
Yeah,
Because mystical is still a very good team.
I think she gets C.
So the effects we're talking about, when an opposing effect would choose a team ability, you may instead choose that team ability. So that's really only affecting like team player at this point. And then prob, when Madame Xanadu uses it,
it also affects JLA and Avengers, or just
True.
JLA, yeah, that one.
Prob, when Madame Xanadu uses it before the reroll, you may guess if the finalized roll would hit all targets or miss at least one target. After resolutions, if you choose again, she can use prob again. So that's okay. Like double prob is fine. 35 points, sidestep, TK. Like it. Yeah, it's probably a C.
She can do that every attack that she can see.
Oh, so you could just stall the game out and just
No. She doesn't get to do it every time.
Additional turn. I got you.
So like if they make 5 attacks, or whatever, makes 4 attacks with 4 actions, because it doesn't count for flurry. She could potentially prob 4 times.
Wait, why? Why? She can only use prob once, right?
No, so when Madame Xanadu uses probability control, when Madame Xanadu uses it before the reroll, you may guess if the finalized roll will hit all targets or miss at least one target. After resolutions, if you choose correctly, Madame Xanadu may use probability control an additional time this turn.
Oh, I missed the after resolutions part, even though I said it. So you can't use prob twice on one attack.
Correct.
You get the one. You get the one prob.
You have to use it per each action. Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. I that's a C. Like it's neat enough for mystical where you might want it for like the TK and the super prob. The team ability thing is just kind of whatever.
Yep. Madame Xanadu, I want to place as a B, and I was going to place her lower as a C probably. But what we found out in Sealed, playing her Team Sealed, if a player would draw a tarot card from their deck, you may roll a d6. That counts for you as well. So 4 through 6, that player can't draw a tarot card this turn. If they have a tarot card in play, it remains in play. So that means you can stall or keep on stall out yourself on a card potentially.
Gotcha.
So let's say you really want to keep that Hanged Man in play in silver. I mean, she comes with not the Hanged Man, but let's say you want to keep the High Priestess up. She can potentially keep that in play for herself.
I'm putting her in like A tier because Perplex, when she uses it to target another friendly character that shares a keyword, and they could just use Mastermind.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's more important than anything else.
Yeah, okay, Kong, go have Mastermind and carry up some fodder or something because she has Mystical. Doesn't he have Mystical?
Yes.
Yeah,
he does.
Like that on its own is worth 30 points, but she also has TK.
I want to move her up to A.
Yeah, and she's your only thing in Modern, right, that allows you to play tarot because all the other tarots are silver. So she allows you to bring in the limited tarot cards that she has. She has prob. She has perplex. Like she's really good. Now she's a prime. That's the caveat. But I think she's a really good prime. If you're playing mystical, you're probably considering her.
Yeah. My only, I guess, complaint with her is she's a prime, and that just means that you don't get access to Elsa Bloodstone on mystical. And that just makes me sad.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just really, is there a piece you really, really wish had Mastermind? Because you can give it to them. Now, she could die, obviously, because she has nothing to protect her, but at 30 points. But being able to keep her in the back, 6 range, I'll perplex you, and then I'm TKing you out, and you could carry whoever you want, or I'll TK someone out you could carry. I'm thinking Kong in this situation. And you could just mastermind to that little fella. I mean, that's very annoying and quite worth 30 points in addition to everything else. So I like her a lot.
Agreed.
All right, I'm putting her today. All right, now Mr. Darkseid, who just got knocked in the pants after finally a year of the pilot trait being broken. Darkseid brought the anti-life equation. Is he worth a shit playing as an OMA in 300 Modern?
Okay, well, are you able to suspend the sadness of the pilot thing being gone away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he good enough to play in Modern?
So, reminder, he has the trade once per game when Darkseid would be KO'd. You may instead roll d6 and turn it to the matching click number. Protected Pulse Wave. Also, the other trait, when Darkseid KOs an opposing character after resolutions KO all other opposing characters that share a name with that character. And then he can reduce penetrating damage. And when Darkseid destroys a terrain marker after resolutions, deal 2 unavoidable damage to an opposing character adjacent to a square. That terrain marker lasts occupied, and then remove an action token from Darkseid. He has improved targeting, elevated, hindering, and destroyed blocking.
Yep, the Battle Gnome army has 1 turn to KO Darkseid completely.
I don't think you could put him lower than a C. We are in a world where there's no more stop signs currently. When we get the new Green Lantern thing, who knows what'll happen, right? Or the Lantern Legacy. But right now, I mean, I would not fault anybody for trying to play him.
I want to put him as a C. The only problem
is he better
with
or worse than
Darkseid...
300.8 bot?
Say that again, Jason.
Is he better or worse than 300.8 bot?
I think he's better. The only problem is that when he hits click 7, he sucks. Because they just start hitting him.
I think the only other thing to keep in mind, and this is not something we could plan for, like I'm putting him in B because I think there'll be some people that'll play him, and maybe he'll make a top cut and surprise people. I'm just thinking like we're gonna get, we haven't gotten to Poseidon yet, but we're gonna be getting more of these deity guys, right?
Yeah.
That are free to put on your sideline. You're never Beetlejuicing with this guy because that's a waste. But there is those deities. So, like, if we get one that works with him, like that extra icing on the cake, right? There's potential down the line of some free stuff. So I like him enough where I think people generally like him enough. He's the most playable Darkseid I think we've gotten in a while. That it's like people will actually try to play him.
Yeah. And Brad mentions that the barrel still exists. The barrel still does exist. But the stop sign also existed with easy access to barrier. Not just the improved movement. I think you can work around the barrel a little bit because he does have improved targeting blocking. So
plus, the barrel doesn't really stop him because he's only rock and sidestep. So, like, it's not like he was running shotting for, like, 8 squares to shoot you. He's just, like, moseying his way up anyway. And you're going to have to get... Yeah, like, Barrel can slow him down a little bit, but, I mean, it's...
He shoots the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Like, scores 5 points, and then you're down.
Well, he can't shoot the barrel. The barrel's indestructible, right?
Oh,
no.
Yeah, I guess.
No, it's not.
It's not indestructible, yeah.
No, the Plastic Man one is, but not the actual nifty traffic barrel.
Huh.
Yeah, because the disguised one is. You could just shoot it.
Yeah.
You just got to get to it first.
Yeah.
So I like him. I like him in B. I think people will try him because, he's one of those... Not that I would necessarily give it to a newer player, but it's one where it's like, hey, do you want an easier game?
Yeah, so I guess Darkseid can, like, Well, he may not be able to get to it first. I mean, because you're playing those machines, right, to block in your barrel, probably. But because he can't shoot it unless he can't shoot it through blocking unless it's a character that he's targeting.
Yeah. But he could also, I mean, he could just move up and then once he gets within range, what's the thing on it? Is it 4 or is it 3 or 4? It's 4. He has sidestep. He reasonably could go pick it up potentially if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like him. I think he's one of the more playable temples we've gotten simply because he has the ability to just go back to click 1.
He's not a temple, he's an OMA. There's a difference.
OMA. Sorry, thank you. OMA.
He's landing in B tier for me.
All right, where are you putting him, Alex?
I have him B.
All right, Vandal Savage, D.
I have him as C.
Okay, Jason?
I think I would agree with C.
Okay.
I like him at 60 points because he gives you Perplex, Shape Change, Leadership for Brute, and, well, they have it for Pass and Ruler, but I think the KO thing and replace him with someone equal or less points, like, there's some good past figures you could bring in to replace him with. Like, that's some shenanigans there. So, unfortunate. Well, wait. Yeah, equal or less point. Yeah, I like him at 60. There's some cool past figures you could bring in and place him. So, and Stealth, Mastermind, Leadership, he could survive at 60.
Green Lantern, D.
Yeah, D. Give me points.
Yeah.
He doesn't have School Flurry power up top at 65, so.
Yeah, it's just he had something a little better at 100, like one stop click. Then I might consider him because he's got Herald and the Flurry and moving for free effectively. The phasing, I guess, is nice, but yeah, he's probably the only other super rare I'm putting in D.
I have 3 of them in there. Caveman Wally West.
A?
Like Caveman Wally. I don't like his 10 attack, but I like him.
Uh-huh.
So the reason potentially at A is like there's so much super senses, and it's one of the few defense powers you can equip currently with the bike. So opposing characters within 3 squares can't use super senses, and he is very much like Prime or Reverse Flash because you hypersonic. Then after resolutions, you could swap him to the Flurry click, where he could just Flurry exploit blades if you really wanted to, and then you turn him back, and that's only for 50 points.
I'm putting him.
He's an animal.
I'm putting him as a C.
In the past, he can go on the time stealers too.
He can go on time
He's also
stealers, but he's 50 points. I mean, I'm putting Kong on the time stealers before I'm putting Caveman Wally West, and I'm putting
you can butterfly him in, like attack 3 times.
I mean, I like him on a team with Reverse Flash.
Bleh.
Like, that's a lot. 90 points of dealing 4 attacks. Like, that's not bad. That could get through. That could shoot through a Kong.
9 points does 5 attacks.
You're right. Yes, because it's after resolutions. I forgot that you hypersonic attack.
Like
yeah. So I like Caveman Wally West. I think there's a team with him and Reverse Flash or something. He does a lot for 50 points. But he is as they call it, like a glass cannon. Like he can run in, hit you hard. You might need some perplexes on the attack, but then he only has super senses, so you're going to get through him.
Yeah, I don't hate him like Daniel does.
Yeah, I don't like him. I think a 10 attack at 50 points is not good enough in any situation, really. If he was an 11, I would give him a B.
He's got high standards. That's what it is.
He can be an 11. I'm gonna land him in the middle. It'd be he might surprise me and be better, but definitely not put him at D.
Let's move on to Poseidon. Is Poseidon ever seen the main force?
No.
I think he's on the sideline a lot.
I'm going to give him a
100%.
B. I'm going to give him an A for his sideline active ability.
Yeah, I agree.
His sideline
playing dinos,
yeah, you can. I know it says on there, if all squares within one of the character has to be water terrain, you can navigate that nowadays. Like we have water maps, or you could play Aquanix, which we're getting to. But having one for free, throw him on your sideline, and if that works out, it's a devastating attack. Like if you can make it work with Kong, that's a very devastating attack. Because now you're doing 3 damage, exploit, giant reach 6. Like that's huge. Now hard to pull off because Kong would have to be in water. But I think we talked about this before. He has his one thing is the spider one. Is it full water or is it only half water for his terrain marker?
Say that again.
The Kong terrain marker.
It's partially water. I think
it is. I think it's like half hindering, half water or something.
Atlantis throne room exists.
Yeah, I don't think you build around that. It's just handy if it works out.
Yeah,
it's
just
bring that.
A character that has Quake at any point on their dial, and you don't have anything else on your sideline. You're definitely playing Poseidon.
Yeah.
All right. Pog or Pog, Alex, you like Bat Prince?
He's okay. I have not. I've traded for one. I haven't gotten it yet, so I haven't been able to play it yet. So I'm unsure. But giving friendly bystanders the Bad Ally team ability is nice. Clearly, 75 is probably his best spot. I don't think you dare play him at 140.
No.
I don't think he's good.
The opposing characters can't use printed team abilities from the characters in their KO area is sneaky better than you would think.
Explain.
Well, if you KO something, like if you KO the what's the monkey's name? Detective Chimp or something, well then no one on their team gets mystics anymore. Like there's certain advantages to that. Same with Power Cosmic or Cosmic Energy. You knock out someone that has Cosmic Energy, then nobody can use it. So that's one of those abilities. Like, okay, that's not enough to play it to be like build around that. I think he's probably C.
If I'm
maybe B.
If I'm poo-pooing on a 50-point piece with a 10 attack, I'm definitely poo-pooing on a 75-point piece with a 10 attack.
Yeah, his Pogs, only one of his Pogs doesn't have 10 attack. It has an 11. Ooh. And he pops out of Perplex. So
it's a D for me. Jason?
I don't think he's going to get played.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I have him at C.
I get what you're saying. I don't hate that, but I think he's still going to not get played. So I'm going to put him in D, unfortunately.
All right, Prince Kal-El. Alex, we did hear you say you're putting him in C.
Yeah, because I'm probably going to try to play him at least once, maybe. But I think he's good enough that people are going to try him and maybe not win.
Yeah.
So
Prince Kal-El.
Yeah, solid C also.
This guy is pretty bad, right?
Who are we talking about?
Prince Kal-El.
I don't know. I put him at C.
You mean, are we talking about Peace Machine? Oh, I mean Prince Kal-El?
Yeah, I'm putting him at a D.
Is there anything that people could build around with that characters take a maximum of 3 damage from attacks? Like
I mean,
Kong's hitting you for 3 anyway. So
Az already has a team cooked up with him, so I'm sure there is. Yeah.
because there's something to that, right? Like it's just you could build around that to be like, okay, my team is probably going to survive a hit, maybe 2. There's also his hypersonic once per turn when he uses it and hits. After resolutions, another friendly character with ruler keyword may make an attack. So free attacks in general are good. So
Yeah.
I think it's a C, just because as annoying as Peace Machine was, and I know this isn't exactly like Peace Machine, it's not worded the same. It's something, right? And he also makes it where Kong can't positively modify their attack value when attacking him. So that means
No. Kong can.
oh, without the mystical keyword. My bad. I got that backwards.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think he's C. I mean, I think that max 3 damage is enough to someone will try to build around him a bit. I don't personally like it, but this isn't just about me. It's about what are people going to play.
Yeah, I got it as a D. Jason Phoenix Sentinel doesn't have the ruler keyword, does it?
Oh.
Well, shit. Now, Prince Kal-El has to use hypersonic and hit, but so the Kryptonian has to hit. The Amazonian does not have to hit.
Very true.
Now, she does have to make an attack.
Yep,
Yeah,
she can.
But you give her a bike, she hypersonics over, makes an attack, assuming you're getting through Brock's bunker. And here comes Kong, Colossus, all the other good shit with the ruler keyword out there.
Or the good shit with pass keyword.
Oh yeah. Or isn't the or the really good pieces with Death Metal Wonder Woman getting the Amazon keyword?
Yeah, that Generations 3-pack Wonder Woman that attacks 3 times can just voop over.
Voop, 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 voop. Diana
Super Sword
is
just moves over and it
indeed
maybe attacks you 3 times. Like,
Diana is indeed an S tier piece.
Ooh, we're going S.
Absolutely.
oh, I love her. I'm all over her. Yeah.
I have
100,000% an A or an S.
that's where I have her as an A. This is one of those like, she's really good. I just don't know if like everyone's going to be playing her. That's where I'm at, because I don't think you could do. I don't know if are we building her on the same Time Stealers team you were talking about before.
No, she's like a ruler or a past.
Which I think Time Stealers probably all have passed. So I would assume they
don't get. But the thing is, they don't gain the animal. You need the animal keyword to boost them, like you're doing.
It's Humanite with the Supernova fella.
Right. I'm saying, are you
animals
trying to build her as
specifically.
past? Right. You're talking Humanite and whatnot. I'm talking about, do you fill in the rest of the points of you have Diana, you have Kong? Are you then trying to fill the points with Time Stealers?
No.
To give them a chance at hit going first.
But she has Wonder Woman TA, that helps.
I feel like if she's not going first, she's dying.
Maybe.
Because you're playing her at 50, I assume.
But you're giving her the bike, right? So I just want to make sure that I have this thought out correctly.
The hypersonic blight doesn't give her super senses, though.
Right, but it's he's going to look up timing, right? So would you know first player before you choose the bike?
No, because the motorcycle doesn't. It's the motorcycle versus the hell cycle is the problem. But I mean,
it's when they're equipped.
Yeah, I mean the the hell cycle does give her the opportunity to maybe have the mystics or energy shield if they're trying to shoot her. So that gives it a little bit. I'd much rather prefer if it was the motorcycle, I guess. As opposed.
Yeah, but it just doesn't get her across the map, unfortunately.
Yeah, because if you chose the motorcycle with supersonic, that would get her up to a 7 charge, but that's not enough to cross map. It's close.
Several.
It's close with it. It's close with a TK.
Yeah.
Gets her up
Yeah,
to
if she had
5.
on those clicked, then
Yeah.
All right. Well, I lost my spot. I'm getting back to it because I was looking at the bike. Units, browse, Masters of Time, scroll. Green Man, S tier, easily.
oh yeah, he's
Yep.
fantastic.
Oh, Green Man,
Ab-
30 points, not at
Absolutely.
150. Please, for all, do
Yeah.
not play him at 150.
Being able to go through somebody's stop with him, and then just the other stuff. He's barrier. He's got pulse wave. I mean,
He's also Weasel
enhancement,
adjacent.
outwit, yeah, +1 range. Like, yeah, he does so many good things, and he's a herald.
This reminds me, we were talking about Diana. I need to go ahead and just buy one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because
She's definitely portable.
She's like $30, like $35 right now.
Yeah.
Green Man's awesome. Harley Quinn?
I think she's S tier too.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, so what replaces Porter going forward? Per Degaton, Green Man, Harley Quinn.
Now, the thing to keep in mind with Harley is it is an action. So you got to think of action economy to give all your characters +1. You also have to think about duration. Because while she's not damaging your characters with Pulse Wave, she is cutting off durations. Because that just is what happens. So be mindful of that if you're picking something at the beginning of the turn, like I'm picking a power until my next turn or something, right? That doesn't have protected Pulse Wave, she could accidentally turn that off. And then you might get hosed. So just be mindful. I like her. I have her more as like an A. Because she's really just prob and then doing that cool Pulse Wave. You could give her trick arrows if you want her to like do something fun, but action economy is her biggest detriment right now.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Speaking of cool things, how does a 10 movement hypersonic bring over a Phoenix Sentinel sound?
Well, I don't. You don't need to bring over Phoenix Sentinel. That's the great thing about Phoenix.
Well, who are you bringing over with the cosmic keyword, Jason?
I don't know if I'm worrying about the cosmic keyword with her. I'm thinking about the other keywords with her.
Yeah.
Like past or Amazon. More specifically. I don't know off Cosmic offhand who I'd Voop over there. Right now.
Yeah.
All the cool cosmic stuff wants to do shit across the map.
That's true.
I mean, I'm still thinking. I'm more thinking like you're talking about Nubia or like one of the dinos.
The problem is,
like
in general,
Jefferson.
Zora has to hit.
Yeah, she has to hit, unfortunately.
And she's only got a single bolt. So she can't like dual target, into 2 super sense pieces. They nail their super sense, the combo fizzles. Zora probably dies. I think because of that, I'm going to put her at a B.
Yeah, she gets to go across the map on her own and, pretty much and get there.
If we
could prop Jefferson, but
yeah, if we could get, we don't have equipable precision strike currently. If we get that, then I would probably bump her up because she gets around shape change and mastermind as her trait. So if you could get a precision strike just to kind of help you with that super sense roll, I would feel a whole lot better. Like you could play her.
You can give her that, but off theme
with Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Butterfly's not cosmic or anything, right?
Oh yeah,
Butterfly is cosmic, yes.
It's cosmic, yes. And you can just Butterfly and Penguin and give it to her that way, yeah.
Yeah. So that's an option. I think she is kind of a step down, obviously from. She's a step down from Diana, but she's still pretty good. I have her as B, also. Giving her
I definitely like her.
Yeah, I mean, she saves you 15 points for not having to give her a bike because she hypersonics on her own. You would probably then spend some of that 15 points though on some way of getting her precision strike or something.
That's true, but Butterfly's pretty easy to do, and I mean, additionally, you can give her a bike, so you don't have to do the TK as readily because you can do the charge Super Sense bike on her, and she has a 12 movement then.
She like one perplex gets her hit in the back of the map.
Yeah, with the charge bike. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, with the charge bike,
the shooting counts. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Jason.
Shooting counts.
But the charge bike is also good because that would give her super senses, and she has Wonder Woman TA. So
yeah, I don't hate that at all. If you can get her into the starting area, or get her there, you could bring King Jefferson over and maybe do that crazy power is too.
Speaking of King Jefferson, do we think that King Jefferson is going to get fixed?
Do tell, Dan.
Yeah.
So, now I don't know the how, because I haven't asked yet. But I was told to share that there is a turn 1 or turn 2 get into the starting zone of your opponent with King Jefferson on his powered blow stuff up thingy, because you KO stuff with the elevated terrain markers, so that you get King Jefferson all the way over there, and you team.
I think we
one
talked
character
about
takes
this
6 penetrating damage.
I think we talked about how to do this Thursday. I think that works just fine.
Yeah, it does. You're not getting around first turn because that has been fixed. So, sure. I mean, how different is this than a Kong coming over and dealing your whole team 3 damage anyway? I know Kong has to roll.
Right. You don't have to roll for this.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and keep in mind, right, like, you get to choose a square for each character, so it's like 3 pin. It's a bunch of 3 pin. And it could be even more if you have more than one character in your starting area, or in your KO zone.
Well, it's
one things you're KOing, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. I mean, I don't know if they'll necessarily try to fix that. Because it's not super easy. And that requires your opponent just to move out of their starting zone. Well, like if you you'd have to go first to pull that off.
Yeah.
Because if you go second, they're just going to move out of their starting zone turn 2. Their turn 2.
The opponent doesn't have to be in their starting zone. King Jefferson has to be in the start zone.
Ah, I see. So you have to get him over and then do a power action.
Yes.
Yeah, you can pick a square anywhere on the map.
I gotcha. I misread that. What's the best way you guys are getting them over there? Turn 2.
Look, I mean,
Flash Raptor.
Flash Raptor, yeah.
So I think what the thing you're doing is you got to have an elevated terrain.
Diana would also work in this case too.
Yeah, and
he has passed
too.
Yeah.
Potentially, but you have to damage. You have to kill something.
It's not King Jefferson. It has to be fixed. It's the Flaptor. Because of his hypersonic, choose a character that took damage. So you're damaging King Jefferson and portaling him over with Flaptor.
Raptor, yes. Yeah. So what you're doing, because Flash Raptor or Flaptor places.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's a lot of things. You have to KO characters, then you also have to damage King Jefferson.
Yeah, you're just jerking an elevated out from under him in a pog and killing the pog, basically.
But you'd have to do that on turn 2, right?
Turn 1, you could do it turn 1.
You could do it turn 1. But I guess not getting damage. They can't. Well, they can't take damage from an attack. I forget FDI's wording, but yeah.
So where are you putting King Jefferson? S, A, B, C, or D?
I have him in.
I probably put him in A.
Yeah, I'm putting him in A. All right.
I have him in B.
Okay.
I think it's really cool. Prob on all the ranged attacks is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Leadership
it was great
enhancement.
to play him in sealed.
He's really cool against Kong too because he just takes away super strength within 7 of your starting area, so Kong can't just pick up those train markers.
All right. Ultra Soups.
I don't think you could go below a C on this. Because
Yeah,
like all the other Ultra
as
Chases.
I'm going to put him as a C because if he ever becomes S, that means he's broken and he'll get an errata.
I'm putting him at C because I think smarter people than myself could do things with that trait. But it's too many words for me to worry about it. But even at 100, even at 100 points, I mean, he's not terrible at 100 points, but without that trait,
itself is solid. But he's too many points for what he's just for that.
Yeah, but it's can't put him in D because I mean that is something where once per game. I'll read it real quick. Once per game at the beginning of your turn, if a standard friendly character was KO'd by an opposing effect since the end of your last turn, you may have each player starting with you place all figures on their force into their starting area on their starting clicks. If you do, each player may generate any number of non-bystander characters with a cost greater than 0 from their KO area into their starting area on their starting clicks, so long as doing so does not bring the total points of characters on that player's force above their build total. Each player scores 100 victory points and your turn ends. So I could see him maybe getting used if more uses if you don't end up going first, like you miss out on the roll and they come over and smash your face and you're like, okay, I'm going to reset this so that way it's my turn now. Because it's not just your opponent's each person gets 100 points. So you're not just giving up 100 points to do this, right?
Right.
Now, your turn ends when you do it. So you're effectively giving them another shot. But if it's something where your rollouts just didn't roll, right? I could see someone trying to use it for that, but yeah, it's a C for me until someone figures it out.
Agreed. All right, Batwalker. I'm going to I think Batwalker's probably one of the better ones to promote from 50 to 100 with Super Saw.
I don't know. I think Batwalker's not that great out of all these.
He's the worst of the Jurassic League.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. I was saying that, hoping I wasn't the only one that felt that way.
No, he's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting any of these Jurassic Leagues below a C because they all do some cool things with Quake and all that.
Yeah,
but
I think because they're all pretty wordy, I'll say this for the first 3. Batwalker is a B. Superstar is an A. Wonder Dawn is a C.
You're sleeping on Wonder Dawn, but okay.
Yeah, I would swap Batwalker and Wonder Dawn. Like that's probably what I'm doing. I agree with the Superstar at A.
Brad says Batwalker's S tier. I want to know why.
Well, if you promote him from 50 to 100, he gets the penetrating damage if he's attacking a character on lower elevation.
Yes, but I don't know that I'm ever playing all 6 of these guys or not.
But then he just gets yeeted. It's 3 extra clicks. Don't you score the extra points?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever playing them as a unit in a competitive game.
Yeah.
All 6 of them to get the team up card. You have to have all, or you have to play all them to get a team up card. Where you don't have to have all 650. You can play whatever point values, but yeah, they all have to have a Jurassic League trait.
And they can't double up because WizKids still
No,
hasn't removed that requirement for team up cards. WizKids, please remove that requirement. Team up cards are already restrictive enough. We don't need them to be more restrictive if you can't play like 2 Flaptors with the team up.
I think y'all are sleeping on the Superstar, but yeah, okay.
I have Superstar at A.
No, I think Superstar is great. I don't know that I want to play the team up necessarily.
Yeah, I think if you're playing any of these Jurassic, you're probably playing Superstar.
You're sleeping on the team up.
Maybe.
I don't like the team up for Batwalker. I don't like the team up for Batwalker. Brad said play Batwalker with Bat Zombie.
The hell's Bat Zombie?
Does he mean like the zombie from Notorious? Like zombie bat? All right.
If I'm using the team up, I'm kind of using it on like Green Torch.
Now I'm looking at this Batman. What is Brad talking about? If Batman occupies hindering terrain, opposing characters can't use improved targeting to target him or adjacent friendly characters. Friendly characters have safeguard mind control, and when they attack, opposing characters can't use shape change. I mean,
which one are we talking about?
I assume he's talking about Zombie Batman, the deceased Batman from Notorious, with Batwalker. No one can attack Batwalker or friendlies unless they're adjacent. Yeah, because you have stealth that they can't shoot through, unless they have Mern. But these don't.
Mern works
because they have animal. Yeah, Mern would get through him. I don't like Batwalker. Wonder Dawn I like better because, like, I like her Quake thing. Outdoors, place her 6 squares away. Quake is free. Deal damage equal to her printed damage.
And it combos with Poseidon.
Yeah.
Or 4 exploit. Like.
And she gives you a little bit of protection from Perplex or Outwit. I mean, I know they could just move out of range, but.
In Mastermind. She gives your friendlies Mastermind. That Cherokee word was her.
Yeah, they're likely killing her, but.
But I mean, if you want to protect somebody else, she does.
True. Yeah, so I have her as D. I have Batwalker as C.
Got it.
And then Superstar is A.
All right, Mr. Mind. We playing Tentpole Mind?
All right, I'm deferring to you guys because I have not played against one or played with one.
I haven't either, so I want to hear what Dan says about it.
No. He's a C.
But you were hyping up Little Mr. Mind earlier.
I know.
Is he not good at 100 even with the stop click?
No, the problem is, well, you may not want to hear this. The problem is Kong.
So is Kong just the new everything's gated behind Kong?
It still is. Yeah, I don't see how it's not.
I'm sure.
I mean, we thought Kong had maybe gotten an errata. You know, the errata maybe took Kong down a notch or two, but it didn't bother him at all.
I mean, it did. It's just people adapted.
Yeah, very, very quickly. So,
I'm gonna put. I think Mr. Mind might be okay at C. At 100, maybe, because he does have a stop click, and you could do.
I'm going to put him in
some stuff.
I mean, I think you play him with the big mind. It's just one of those things.
All right, Ultra Humanite?
S
tier, I think.
Easily.
Yep.
Okay, explain to the crowd. I have not really looked at him.
He makes animals Time Stealers, and Supernova gives Time Stealers plus to their attack. Plus to their initiative roll. Sorry.
So we're talking...
Go ahead. He can move animals. He can move 2 animals 3 squares. And then if two animals or two of your team and their animals are adjacent to an opposing character, he can mind control from anywhere on the map. And he's got leadership.
And so we're looking at clearly 55 points.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. I'm putting him at A just because that's a big investment for Time Stealers. But I see the potential in it. It's just whether everyone is going to be playing it.
Oh yeah, and he stops people from carrying more than one character.
I don't.
So
That's
if that ever
still,
becomes a thing, he shuts down Green Lantern TA for that, or
that's one thing I thought about actually the other day is with smaller maps and how everything's more alpha, there's not as much carrying like there used to be, right? Like, there is somewhat to bring up like an empower or enhancement, but it's not as much of, oh, I'm moving over to this side of the map to ready my attack. It's like, no, go attackers, go. Do I have anybody else? They'll just move up on their own. Like, it's not as much Green Lantern. I guess because Flash isn't around anymore. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Ultra Human Knight's easily an S. Beast Boy is probably the first one that I'm putting as a D.
I'm putting him in C because I put that other Beast Boy in.
Gotcha.
Just because I could see someone combo.
Jason?
yeah, I don't really like him, and I don't like the T-Rex either.
Yep, I agree. Green
They
Torch.
look cool on my shelf, though.
Yeah,
Oh, they look
T-Rex is the first D for me for that.
I dig Green Torch.
Yeah,
Like, maybe, I don't know, he's not S tier.
I like
he
him
might
as a
be
B.
A. Maybe a B. Yeah, I don't know where to put him in A and B. A.
he would be my choice for Superstar for sure. I think Jason, you mentioned that too. Like 50
I don't
points.
like him at 50 points. I do not like him at 50.
Yeah, I think if you play Superstore and you bump him from 50 up to the Charge Flurry, where he's 13 for 5, I mean, you could give
I
him.
could see a world where you played him at 100 and bumped him to 150.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're going to go with the team up, because you're going to need some higher point ones anyway in order to get there. If you're not going to play the,
Yeah, he hits hard. And
he hits like a truck.
Now, the downside is he doesn't have like full map reach like Superstar or Flaptor have. So he's kind of slow moving his way up a bit.
He is one of those things that Diana can just jump across the map too.
But you could give him a bike.
Yes, he can be equipped, which is nice.
So you could
So
give
he
him
can have an 11 square range basically charge because of his giant reach 3.
move 6.
Because like if it went 150, he could charge 6 and then get 2 more, be 8, and then the 3 for 11.
Well,
if
shit,
you're bumping
I didn't
him
even
up.
recognize that trait. Yeah, sorry, I'm moving up. Old Green Torch to an A. I didn't know. I didn't realize the assign a character thing, assign equipment to him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had not read that at all during any point of this whole thing.
Yeah. You clearly give him probably a bike to boost his movement, and either you could give him hypersonic if you aren't worried about the charge flurry, just to kind of get him out there and to be like run out there because you want to hit and then you quake for free, right? So like I don't mind if I'm not all in on the charge flurry if I can give him a bike to give him hypersonic to get him out there to be able to potentially hit first turn and then quake and then hopefully he survives to do a charge flurry.
And if you hypersonics at 13.5, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's real good.
And he's a stop click.
Mm-hmm. And he could technically carry people. I mean, he's passenger 8. He does have Green Lantern.
Yeah, he's got Green Lantern TA. So he can bring along his power, his prob, whatever. He cards your whole... Well, you can't have hypersonics, obviously, because you can't carry, but yeah, he can bring his whole team over.
Green Torch is great.
Yeah.
I like him.
I'm going to put him in A.
I'm putting him in A. Alex?
You've convinced me I'm up at A also.
All right. Flaptor S tier.
Yep.
Yeah, the only knock I'd have on Flaptor is that he's a little lacking in the damage department. Like, it's great he could get over there and hit somebody, but he's only realistically doing 3 damage. And then quaking for 2. That's really his biggest detriment, because he's probably, if he doesn't kill something, he's probably dying next turn.
Yeah.
But you're realistically playing him at 50. He's a good alpha strike to bring somebody over. Or if you just want that general threat of an alpha strike of coming over and hitting and then quaking. I mean, that's enough to take out a lot of support or to knock some people around. So I dig it.
And Flapter likes Poseidon. Well, I guess
Like Diana
most
too,
of them do.
was up in power. So, like,
Yeah.
All right, what do we think of Aquanix?
I like Aquanix more than I like Wonder Dawn. I think it's better defensively because of Matilda.
that's fair.
Like, I like Aquanix, like, B. I might put Aquanix as high as A. Like, I feel like if you're playing most of these characters, you should try to fit Aquanix on to give you the Matilda for the Perplex, to be able to mastermind a Matilda, but also to, he creates water when he hits in his square and the hit character square. So, like, he kind of makes it, it's after resolution, so you wouldn't be able to, oh no, it would work. Technically, Aquanix enables Poseidon on his own, because you run over hit, after resolutions drop water terrain in his square.
Yeah.
And then he quakes. So he does Poseidon all on his own.
Yeah.
He has to hit. But, like, that's enough for an A tier for me, because I feel like you could pump up his numbers. He has a stock click in the middle, and he pops out another Matilda.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the other one was KO'd. So he brings his own. Like, I think Aquanix is actually slept on a little bit because he's not as flashy, but I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He did some work for me.
Yeah, I think you convinced me.
It's all about Matilda, man. The fact that any giant or colossal can mastermind, like him and Flash Raptor, where you can move Aquanix up, carrying Matilda, and then Flash Raptor runs up, hits, and kind of goes back to be adjacent. Just gives a little bit extra protection for those two colossals. So I dig it.
I'm with you. All right. Let's talk about Batman from the release day kit.
Yeah, I had to color this one in. Brad didn't have an icon for it, but it's the same sculpt as the Uncommon, I believe. The one with the big wings.
I don't know why they made him not part of the shifting focus. I hate that.
Yeah, it's a decent
Same
for sure.
Yeah, as soon as I got it, Jason, I said the exact same thing.
Yeah, why? Like, I don't understand. Why is this box more?
Yeah,
probably you take an unavoidable. I just don't think that's worth that. Like,
yeah, I almost dislike it out of principle.
Yeah, I do too. It was a missed opportunity. He's the only one it's not part of that. He's going in the trash tier.
Is this Detective Chimp better than the other one?
He's got Perplex and Prom versus Outwit and Perplex, but I guess it depends on what you want. He gets Safeguard and Mystic, so that's pretty good.
Same for Jason friendly character. He doesn't have it, but he's not really attacking, so
Yeah, he's not going to attack. Yeah,
an 18 defend is meh, but it is a thing at least. He's okay. I feel like if I have the other Detective Chimp at C, I feel like I have to put this one at C also.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like it. I don't like him. Well, maybe. I like him at C.
Yeah, that's how I have
C.
him.
All right.
Hey.
The shut powers off Batman. I mean, I'm going to
play him. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. I don't think he elevates the whole thing enough to get the whole Batman's out of C tier for me.
Out of C tier?
Yeah, all the
I think
Batmans
he's like one of the reasons they're definitely in B tier for me. Like,
I have him at A tier Um, simply because he does make Batman's, I think, potentially a modern, because you can alternate just between him and the Wild Wild West one, to where one turn you're shooting twice, the other turn you're shutting off powers. Anything in my book that shuts off powers is good. It's obviously not as good as Cosmo because his range is smaller, but you can perplex that up. It is he is better in the sense that he heals and is not as easy to kill.
Sure.
And he's got stealth.
Yeah. All right.
And he's a triple target in cap with 12 attack. That's not nothing either.
Yeah, and he has normal outwit. Like his takeaway powers is just one thing as a free action you choose. So it gets around protected outwit, but then he just has outwit also. So he's doubling up.
Yeah, I'm so glad he had the shifting power. I mean, yeah. So these next ones are all garbage. Like these legacy cards are garbage.
All right, yep. So, Alex.
Most of them, anyway.
Alex, I'm going to give you a chance before Starro. So that is from Cosmic Boy to Tim Hunter. Is any of these legacy cards for you coming out of a D? Because they're all D for me.
Are you including Tim Hunter?
I don't hate Vigilante or Tim Hunter.
Yeah, I would say Cosmic Boy to Ragman.
Yeah,
I agree with D because they're just not good. Even Matter Eater Lad. I've been joking about that, but I think Jason, you mentioned Vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like him. He's a marksman, 30 points. Like
it's make a. He has range combat expert prob on himself, Thigh Blast, knockback. He can make a free attack potentially.
Yeah, he's like a 2-gun kid.
Passenger 2? Yeah, he's Passenger 2. Like Flight.
He could be enabled by Kingpin because he's 30 points.
I mean, he can be a 13 for 4. He's got JLA and RCE.
Yeah. I like him enough to put him in C tier, so I'm not going crazy with him. But this is another...
I'm moving him up one. What? Did I hear? Did I miss the argument on Ragman?
No, I don't like Ragman. But
okay.
I don't think
so. Why do we like Tim Hunter out of D tier?
So
double prob, enhancement again, +2 speed if they're carrying him.
Yeah, it's probably the +2 speed when carried and the enhancement.
Okay.
It's and the double prob, like it's interesting enough to like see. It's not good. I'll
give you a C on that one then. All right. Starro. Was it 350 or 450, Jason?
It was $400.
Yeah.
That he got sold for as a complete set.
Yep. What was?
Starro.
As with all the people he sold at 400?
Yep. Mm-hmm. With the legacy card.
That's really making me second guess keeping Starro, but I actually really like Starro at 80.
Starro's great.
Starro is fantastic.
I think there's potential there with him, and you probably combo with Colossus, just so you don't have anybody, to get around any sort of Battle Fury or protected. If someone's trying to protect themselves with Battle Fury, that would get around that. But while he lost a step, literally, he lost sidestep, he's arguably better than he was before because he's at 80 instead of 100. So, where are you guys putting him?
S. Easily S.
Yeah.
I'm putting... I'll probably put him at S.
Very easily an S.
He was the main reason I was so sad Masters of Time was not legal for Worlds.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play him at Worlds. But
like him and Phoenix setting on a Cosmic team is like a pretty cool combo to me.
Mm-hmm. And then, when you need a 10 range outwit for that Cosmic team, you throw on the additional S tier Solaris.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
S tier?
My problem with Solaris is he doesn't have his attack power at 25 points.
Well, yeah.
That sucks.
Well, yeah.
Like, I mean, if he had that at 25 points, I would agree with you.
I don't agree with S at all.
Oh, yeah.
You go in Major Brock's bunker and he's just chilling.
But then he's protected so he can do his retail.
Except Mern can still shoot him. He's got Cosmic.
So
His retail seems underwhelming to me, though.
His retail's always
It's
been
one
underwhelming, but he can also attack
It's-
smaller. He can. I mean, he's going to be a lot of other. Sorry, he can't.
If he's
he can't
25 points, he can attack smaller territories. Yeah.
But he's always been able to. There's going to be a lot more colossals. So
It's true, but it's only 2 damage. Well, it's outwit, so it's still only 2 damage.
Listen,
keep in mind,
attacking.
his retail is not an attack.
That's true, but it's also not a 10 damage either.
But there's a bunch of squishy shit still.
Listen, Surtur, I know it's a different time, but Surtur at 25 points did not see play. 25 points is way too much for just an outwit that's chilling in the corner. I get it's 10 range.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I have him in B. I absolutely don't think people are playing him.
If he had sickening radiation at 25, he would be there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
25 points for a long range outwit when I could. That's all he
Phoenix
does.
Sentinel already has a long range outwit when I'm playing my Cosmic team.
Yeah.
I don't think he makes it. I don't.
Yeah, I have him at B because I could see some people liking that, but
I don't think he's garbage. I'd probably put him at B also. I want him to be better, but he doesn't have the attack power. I don't know if I could play him at 75 or not for the attack power.
Oh my gosh. You guys are definitely underestimating.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna critique all the builds you post, and
I'll be happy
you're like,
my part if you prove me wrong.
Yeah, I'll look at him and be like, hey, there's 25 points you could put Solaris on there.
That's fine. I agree with you. So
if you prove me wrong, I'll be happy to say you're right.
That's fine. I'm with you.
Hey, see, I don't know if we said this. Dennis Ryan said Devin toured up with Shifting Focus Batman today.
We didn't. We did. We didn't mention that live yet.
Yeah.
iZone Bill says Zala is underrated.
I don't think she's underrated. The problem is, we mentioned before, she has... Wait, who's Zala? Is that the...
It's the one that has to hit.
Yeah.
Yes. I think she's great. I think she's really great. I wish she didn't... I mean, she has to hit, and she only has a 10. Is the problem. But I don't know. I still play her. I like her a lot.
All I can say, like, just looking at this was a good set.
It's a fire set, yeah.
Because if we compare our lists to some of the previous ones...
Oh, yeah, it's far and away better than the other ones.
Like, Dan, I know you have... what's his face? Prince Kal-El in the Ds. But I don't have any chases in the Ds, and I only have 2 super rares.
Yeah.
Currently in the Ds. Like, that's crazy.
Well, let's go ahead and just run down who we have in S and A for each of us, and then I think we can sign off. Okay. Alex, go first with your S's and A's, or let's just do S's. Alex S first.
Okay. I was more what's the word? Selective with my S's than I think you guys were. I only have 6. I think anybody that I have an S or you have an S I don't, I just put an A for the most part. So my S is Predagaton, Reverse Flash, Despero, Green Man, Flapter, and Starro. Those are my S tiers.
Jason, S?
Okay. I've got Supernova, Predagaton, Reverse Flash, Diana, Green Man, Harley, Ultra Humanite, Flapter, and Starro.
I have
Round-
Supernova, Perdegaton, Prime Reverse Flash, Prime Swamp Thing, Diana, Green Man, Chase Harley, Ultra Humanite, Flapter, Starro, and Solaris, potentially making this the highest number of S's I've ever had for a set ever.
For real. Yeah.
Alex, A's.
A's is where a lot of the S's went. So I've got the Wild Wild West Batman. I've got whatever his face is, that Time Stealers you're talking about. The blue one that adds the bonus. Prime Beetle, Constantine, Prime Swamp Thing, Shadow, Prime Xanadu, Cave Wally West, Diana, Chase Harley's, Super Soar, Ultra Humanite, Green Torch, Aquanix, and then the Play at Home Batman, Shifting Time.
Jason,
I've
A's.
got Prime Beetle, Despero, John Con, Prime Swamp Thing, Shadow, Prime Xanadu, Poseidon, King Jefferson, Super Thor, Green Torch, and Aquanix.
Hold on. I made an oops. I have regular Xanadu as an A and not the Prime. I don't feel like that's what I meant.
No, I think you should swap those. You have her at A and Prime at B.
Yep.
You definitely wanted those.
Yep, I'll put that in the correct spot too. All right, so I've got Prime Beetle, Despero, John Con, Shadow, Prime Xanadu, Poseidon, King Jefferson, Superstar, and Green Torch. I was just not as high on some of the other Colossals as you guys were. All right, final thoughts, Alex?
You guys that are watching should probably do what I just did and go buy a Diana now while she is $30, $35. Because once we have some modern tournaments or even silver tournaments, her capabilities of just bringing someone over without having to hit is really good.
Yep.
So buy now. This is your rare opportunity to get a Chase very cheap before she probably goes up in price.
Jason, final thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with what Alex said. This is an awesome set we've had in a while. I wish it had been legal for Worlds. And go buy your Reverse Flash because he's not expensive either.
Actually, to piggyback off of what you just said, Jason, I'll also add I wish it was, and I'm glad it isn't, because that means we get additional time with the set, right? Like we get
that's true.
full
Just
2 years.
made it legal for 3 Worlds. Let's just be clear. There is no set guidelines for retirement. They could have just made it legal for 3 Worlds.
Yeah, that would have been nice. My problem is it's legal now, and then we're not going to get a good tournament with it for a while. So
we got the
6 weeks.
Indiana. Yeah, we got the Indiana tournament.
And Iowa has one too, but
yeah, there's still some modern.
Not enough. But my final thoughts are: do not go buy Prime Swamp Thing. You'll see him as S's and A's on our list, but do not go buy Prime Swamp Thing unless you are for sure 100% going to be playing him in the very near future. Do not spend $300 on a Prime Swamp Thing. Now, I don't know. Based on all of this, I am going to go dig out my second Starro set. So, I don't know, maybe buy my $400 Starro. I'm just kidding. But thanks, everybody, for watching the Masters of Time Tiermaker. And thanks, everybody, for always listening to Clickstuff. Check us out, patreon.com/Clickstuff, if you like what you watched here this evening. And we'll talk to you all next time.